Hey y'all, it's Naomi, owner of Nate's Touch Jewelry, and I am coming at you with a little story time video of how I quit my job during a pandemic without a backup job. So I just wanted to make this video because when I was initially going through the phases of quitting my job, I went to YouTube, as any other sane person does. But I went to YouTube and just tried to look up and see were people out there feeling like me. And so I kind of just want to give back because the videos I did watch definitely helped me come to my decision. So I just wanted to come back and just share my story and my experience. And this is also going to be a make jewelry with me video. So I'm going to be using some box chain and I'm going to make an anklet and a necklace out of it. But I'm not trying to take up too much time, so we'll go ahead and get right into it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for all those who have been subscribing. I'm really grateful of how my YouTube is growing little by little. But yeah, so June 4th, 2021, I quit my job. I did not have a backup job lined up. And yeah, and for y'all who don't know, I am a mother. I have a 6-year-old son, and I am technically a single mother, even though his father definitely is still around and does his part. But since it's just me and my son in my household, I consider myself a single mom. So let's get into my pre-pandemic job. So I was at my company for 4 years before I left. And they were a good company. I really liked working for Manhattan, or I really liked working for them. And I'm sorry, I need to find the measurement tape. So I really liked my company. They were good. It wasn't too demanding. I was able to, afford my lifestyle. So I was really kind of comfortable at my job. I won't even say happy because of course, I feel like I wasn't really doing any life-changing work or anything that I just loved to do. It was basically just a paycheck. And but I was kind of good with that. I was very just comfortable in that position. So pre-pandemic vibes, how I was feeling, like I mentioned that I am a single mother, and I was having to spend we're working 9-hour shifts, right? Because 8 hours minus the hour lunch or whatever. So we were working 9-hour shifts. I live in Houston, a big city, to commute. And so I was having to do at least 40 minutes there and back. So commuting and having a child was already kind of weighing on me. I had a lot of mommy guilt because I was spending 10 and a half, 11 hours away from my child. He was at daycare, he was at school, he wasn't with me. So I was already kind of just struggling with these feelings this isn't fair. I don't get to see my son nowhere near enough. And I can't believe I'm supposed to go about this my whole life. But yeah, so that was the kind of feeling that I was going through. And I also, and don't ask me why, this was kind of one of my worries, but I would always think damn, if an apocalyptic disaster popped off when I'm at work and my son is at school, it would be such a struggle trying to get to him. Literally, I could just imagine the traffic being motherfucking monstrous. Sorry for cussing, but just so crazy. So these are literally the thoughts that were already in my mind pre-pandemic. So boom, pandemic hits, and my son was in kindergarten in 2020. And so he went for spring break that March. And they didn't bring him back to school. They were basically keep your kids home. They closed the school. And that same week, I also was able to get sent home from my job. We were able to work from home. So luckily enough, I did have a position, or I did have a company that was able to have us work from home. And I was doing a job. I don't have to deal with customers or anything. Or at that job, I didn't have to deal with customers or anything. So I could literally do all my work from a computer, didn't need anything. So, and it was good. I was homeschooling my son, and that was definitely that was definitely a task, but still, like I said, how I was feeling pre-pandemic, I was honestly just lucky to be able to have my son, know that my son is safe, know that my son is cared for. I was also having problems with his daycare, but that's another story. Like, I'm just so glad I was able to get my son like out of daycare. Like, literally, he get to be with me. So I already felt like that was kind of like a blessing in disguise. You know, a lot of horrible shit came with COVID, but I think a lot of good shit came too, and I think people don't talk about that enough. But so we were at home, and I think maybe July of 2020, my company tried to start getting people back in the office. They actually tried to make me go back like September 2020. We really got beefed up, got into it, because they basically did not give a fuck about what I had going on with my son. Like, nothing. Like, they just wanted us back in the office. But I did throw a big enough fit that I did get to stay home until June or May 2021. We got the email saying like, hey, we want y'all to come back in the office. Like, everybody's coming back. This is for real. Everybody's gonna have to come back. And when I got that email, like, my heart was just like, it literally just dropped, because I was just like praying and hoping that they would like do the right thing, just let us stay home. Especially they were starting in the summer. My son had just got out of school from me doing homeschooling. So literally them stopping in the summer means I would have to put my son back up in daycare or whatever. They didn't care what I did with my son, honestly, my company, just as long as I was back in the building. And so, like, we're supposed to be making all these preparations for our kid and stuff. And it was just like, so I was like, I'm not sending my son back to daycare. Like, literally, that's where I'm at with it. Like, my son is not going back to daycare. I don't want to be put in this position. Like, even when I tried to talk to that company, they weren't having it. Like, basically, like, no, everybody has to come back in, figure out something with your kids. But so I was very, very upset, and I started thinking, like, could I leave my job? Could I actually leave my job, you know, without any preparation? Like, I had some savings, thankfully. I did have some savings. Like, I knew I had enough savings to be okay for like 3-4 months. Like, I had at least 4 months of all my bills being fully paid, you know, with just my savings, to where I would be okay. And so I was really just going back and forth in my mind. And I have to say, like, I'm not a very anxious person. Like, I don't worry too much. I'm very, like, presently grounded, and I feel like I can control most situations that come into my life. And so, like, and I was just so anxious, like, literally just thinking about my future. Like, do I have to put aside everything that I have gained, meaning like my family life, being able to control and know that my son was safe, being able to teach my son, being able to do my yoga in the morning, like literally my routines. Like, y'all are trying to make me drive 40 minutes there and back, like, so unnecessarily. And then I was like, I had just came into the consciousness that this job don't give a fuck about me. Like, don't give a fuck about me. And then, of course, like, I live in Texas, so the mask guidance was, like, done. So we were basically going to be back in the office, no social distancing, no mask, like, rates starting to go back up. But y'all clearly just don't give a fuck about us. It's kind of like where I was at with it, what I was realizing. And I was just getting more and more upset, more anxious, because I'm like, Naomi, you are a mother. You have a child to provide for. It's not just you. Like, what can you do? Okay. But and also in COVID, I have definitely like grown so much spiritually. I was able to gain so much knowledge, which is what I think personally like COVID was about. It was a way for us to detach from like the fucked up way capitalism has had us living. Like, spending 11 hours a day away from my son, who needs 10 hours of sleep each night. That's 21 hours. Like, that leaves what, 3 hours of wait time for me to spend with my son, and that's just fucking ridiculous. So excuse me when I don't give a fuck about going back to normal, but I won't get on that tangent. So I just felt like so much growth had came during this period, and I'm like, I know that my son is safe and taken care of. I do not want to risk that. I don't want to risk his health. I don't want to risk my health. I don't want to risk my sanity. Like going to a job, because I knew I was going to be just so upset. So like during this time where I'm like, oh, I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my job. And like for me, I'm very like independent. I don't have people that I could just go and like, you know, have people that can support me. Like I'm a grown woman. I have my own child. Like the only one I'm dependent on to handle shit is me. And so it was just very nerve-wracking. Like literally like a week before I have to go in the office, these are like, I'm going back and forth. Like, Naomi, maybe you are just being stubborn. Like, are you just being stubborn? Like, you could go back to work. Like, am I making a big deal out of this? And so I was kind of like going like on Indeed. I was on LinkedIn, kind of just looking at like what positions were out there, trying to see like how fast could I find another job. So like I was applying for positions, or I applied for some, like literally just some jobs to see what the field was like out there. And you know, and then finally I realized I had to take a leap of faith, that I had to trust that the universe, I had to trust my intuition and my divinity that was telling me like, this is the better route. And I knew that if I was doing something purely for the good of my child, that it can't be wrong. Like, you know, this can't fail me, because I know that God loves me the same way that I love my child. You know, we are his children. He has that same love for us, the same way that I want to provide for my son and make sure he has everything that he needs and what he wants and be able to support his dream. The creator is like that for us. Like, he cares about us that much. And so I just really had to get into myself and like, okay, I have to trust that I'm doing the right decision. I have my savings. I have my savings for 4 months. And after I looked through the jobs, I was like, I feel pretty confident that I would be able to find another job. Like, and if not, like even after my 4 months of savings that I had saved up, like even if I had to go into my credit cards, I still would have been able to extend some money for a little bit of time. And so I finally, like after I started to put trust, like literally have trust and have faith that everything will be okay, that everything will be okay, that I will be provided for. Like, I know that I'm smart, I'm competent, and I have the ability to, you know, create the life that I truly want. And so, and that's kind of where I was at already. Like, I want to create the life that I want. And so I knew that if I was just moving with pure intentions, like literally just thinking of my son, that things would be, dang, I just hit one thing, that things will work out. And so after I realized that, I kind of started to calm. I think we were called back into work on a Wednesday. And I think like, I was like, okay, well, let me get all my doctor's appointments out the way, right? Like while I have insurance, let me get all my doctor's appointments. So I set up like my son a doctor's appointment that Friday. I think I had a doctor's appointment that Thursday and that Monday. Like, so literally I was using up my sick time. I was using like up my insurance, like getting ready to leave. So I went in that Wednesday, and I think my last day was that Friday of next week. And I walked out that bitch, no motherfucking worries. And I think that last week of work, so one of the jobs that I did apply for was a volleyball coaching position. I think, I think I applied to it like that week I was back at work, because I really wasn't doing nothing at work, right? I'm fed up. I'm not even caring to work in this place. And that's already what I was on. Like, y'all sending me back in the office. I don't know what work y'all think I'm finna be doing, because I was only so worried about my work when I was at home, because I'm thinking like, well, shit, if I do a good job, they'll keep me at home. So now I'm in the office. I literally don't give a fuck. And I'm thinking like, how am I going to go out? Do I want to be able to get unemployment? So do I want to quit? Do I want to resign? Like, will that fuck me later if I do want to get unemployment? So I was kind of like going back and forth with that. But overall, I end up listening to my mom. And let me say, you know, the older generation, they'll stay at jobs they don't fuck with, you know. So my mom was kind of like, you know, you need to think about it. Do you really want to leave? And like for me, I was like, no. Once I made up my mind, I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. No. Like my son's not going back to daycare. No, I'm not doing it. No, like, fuck that. Fuck that. I'm letting go of things that are no longer serving me. And this job that's trying to make me go 40 minutes to work and back and put my son in daycare for motherfucking 50 hours a week, they're not serving me. That's not where I'm going. That's not where I think my purpose is. I don't think my life has to be like that. And just literally learning, I just learned so much of our own power this year already. So it was kind of like time for me to put that shit in action. Like, are you really about this spirituality? Can you really trust? Can you really take a leap of faith? Can you let go of motherfucking fear? Because I'll tell you, fear will hold your ass back. And like I said, when I was like just getting anxious about leaving my job, I knew, like, I was able to recognize that was nothing but fear. And I did not like the way that shit made me feel, like, at all. I was like, no, this ain't even me. Like, this isn't even me. I don't even live in this type of mind frame. But, sorry, let me find my solder. Oh, okay. But, yeah, so, I left. I think I ended up sending my resignation like that next like Monday. I literally just emailed to my boss. My boss texted me like, where are you? I didn't even answer. I literally just sent the resignation to the email. And that was that, because I had kind of made up my mind like, I want to take the summer off. I'm like, I got the funds to be able to live, and I want to be able to like live freely. I want to take the summer off. So that's where I kind of was at with it. But I don't know if I extended on this. But so literally that Friday that I left out of work, I ended up having an interview as a for a volleyball coaching position. I played volleyball in high school, and I played club, and I really just love volleyball. And I've always wanted to get into coaching. That's kind of like a path that I've always kind of wanted to explore. And yeah, so I walked out of my job that was no longer serving me and had a motherfucking volleyball position. And guess who's a volleyball coach now? Guess who's a volleyball coach now, okay? And so I was able, like, and it was just crazy how sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith. Sometimes you just have to jump and trust. Of course, faith without works is dead. So you can't just motherfucking jump and have, you know, no motherfucking vision. Okay? Even though I didn't have a concrete plan of where I was going, of course I have my jewelry business, and that's not even why, you know, I quit my job to work for myself. Because I don't feel like I'm there yet to quit and just make jewelry full time. But I knew that I had a way to make money that way as well. So it was like, I was just very sure and confident of myself that I can make this shit work. Okay, I can make this shit work. And that's on period. And so I did. And like literally that volleyball interview was like the most like real interview that I've ever like cared about and like enjoyed and was happy. Like I literally loved it. And so I think that just goes to show that the universe really does have you. Like we are we cannot get caught up in this society that has been forced upon us. We still have our own power. And I think when we recognize that shit, it's very like, it is very much everything. And also, I actually been meaning to film this video. for a while, because I do have a new job now. Like I said, I wanted to take the summer off, and that did not work, because like I said, I was applying for jobs when I was freaking out about leaving my job. And so one job ended up contacting me. The pay was good. It was a permanent work from home position, and yeah, it was already kind of in the field. Well, it extended. I'm in the insurance industry, so it kind of extended into that further. And so it was a really good opportunity. And I think they contacted me about that maybe a week after I quit my job. I had got contacted about this position, and I actually really finessed it into a way, like, because I was like, look, I'm trying to get as much time off from work as possible. Like, if y'all don't need me in the office no time soon, please delay it as much as possible. And they had told me, like, oh, the best we could probably do is like end of June. So I said I had quit my job that June, and I was just like, ugh, even though I was really like looking forward to like not working, to doing my own thing for sure. And but I'll tell you how the universe works again, how God works again, how the Creator listens to us, how the universe responds to us. Because I said I wanted my summer off, and the position ended up getting pushed back until the end of July. Like, I literally just stopped training for my new position. So I was able to have 2 months off from work, like literally to focus on me, to focus on my home, to focus on my son. And it was just beautiful. And I think it's just a beautiful story of how like things will work out, like things will be okay. And of course, I'm speaking kind of from a place of privilege where I did have a savings to fall back on. And I think like the system, the shitsome, really puts us in this position to where we're not able to accumulate any savings. And so that makes us have to stay at this shitty job that we don't even like, in a shitty situation, because they're like, oh, well, they need to check. Okay. And I'm like, bitch, I don't need to check. Jesus paid it all. Okay. Jesus paid it all. And so definitely, if y'all don't have a savings, just try to build that shit, because you never know. You literally never know. And you want to be able to have some sovereignty and not just get like caught up in the way they want things to be. And so I would just say for myself, I'm sorry, I actually just forgot my train of thought, but I just hope the story will be enlightening and have you take that leap of faith, like to let you know that I didn't have anything set up when I left my job, and I was able to get 2 job opportunities. I'm coaching, and I have a work from home job that's paying more, okay? And I'm good, and I'm safe, and I'm able to keep my son at home. And I'm glad, especially with the way things are going now. Like I said, I've been meaning to film this video for a while, but especially with the way things are going now, I'm just so grateful that I have the option to homeschool my son this school year and not have to have him cut up in whatever shitstorm is about to happen with the public school system. Like, you know, I think it just gives me a little bit of power back. And so I would say, if you're thinking about quitting your job and you feel like you're going to be okay if you have some money until you can find a new job, do that shit, okay? Like, if you were looking for your sign to leave your job, leave it, because these motherfucking jobs don't care about you, okay? And I think that's one thing that COVID showed us. And baby, when I say niggas is not even trying to work like that, you could find you another job. You can find you another job, okay? Because they're out there looking, and everybody's realizing these companies ain't shit, and they're not even trying to stay with them. So I'm like, hold on, let me finish this anklet real quick. So at least I'll have one. I think I kind of talked more than I made jewelry in this video. But that's okay, right? Like, I at least need to have something to show for it. You dug. You dig. Okay. And just a little hack. Sometimes when you buy from a gold filled seller, they like to do a gold plating on top, and I don't really like the color of like that gold plated, like that high yellow, like it looks like you're rocking 24 karat, but it's really not. I like that 14 karat gold. Okay, so what I do to get that plating off is I dip it in my protective flux and I put that bitch on fire, and we burn off all the plating. Okay, because plating cannot stay, it is not heat resistant. Okay, so all I do is heat up the whole chain, like so, just to burn off that color. Okay. Okay, but I definitely want to thank y'all for staying tuned and watching. For y'all who have subscribed and liked and commented, I really appreciate it. And I know that I have gotten like some recommendations to do like a more soldering basics video, and I definitely will get that for y'all. I actually get like the angles so you can actually see everything that I'm doing, because I'm glad that I was able to find, you know, a jewelry maker community out here. And yeah, and I'm actually gonna be posting some gardening videos too. I'm a big like do it yourself, so you never know what you'll come across on this channel. But thank you for watching for sure. I hope that you like this video. I hope it was from some help for you. If you are in the same situation, let me know, talk to me about it. And yeah, because listen, I was there, and now I really do like my new job. Like, and this, of course, my coaching job is lit, but you never know what's waiting for you around the corner once you let that go. When the door closed, another one open. You got to know that you deserve to live life how you want, okay? The life that you deserve is yours. So peace and blessings. I'm out. I will see y'all next time.